Thank you for the opportunity to present Kitchen Comics, Intangible Heritage, Sequential Narratives, Exhibitions and National Archiving at the 2025 AMPS Prague Education, Research and Teaching Conference, Exploring Academia, From Practice to Publishing. My name is Astrid Kensinger. I'm the Chair of Graphic Design at VCU Arts, Qatar, and I'll be presenting on behalf of my co-authors, Assistant Professor and PI of the Comics Lab, Leland Hill, and Graphic Design Alumna and Curator, Natasha Fernandez. Today's talk will include an overview of the research at VCU Arts Qatar, how this impacts our teaching within graphic design, introduce our recent co-taught graphic design elective, Kitchen Comics, and share the results of the elective both internally within the class and externally with the community at large. The VCU Arts Qatar Institute for Creative Research is the first institute in Qatar and the Swana region dedicated to advancing discourse across creative domains. Established in 2022, the ICR is a community of faculty, researchers, students, and alumni that contribute to the local and global creative ecosystems through multi- and transdisciplinary research, scholarship, and creative practices. Celebrating diverse voices and perspectives, the ICR is committed to generating meaningful contributions with societal impact. The edge of the ICR lies in the multifaceted and distinctive research that comes forth from the synergy of faculty, student, and alumni from a hybrid of disciplinary domains, cultures, perspectives, backgrounds, and expertise. The faculty-led research labs pursue a territory of inquiry through iterative explorations that delve into a broad spectrum of areas such as cultural production, material studies, visual cultures, cultural heritage and preservation, and emergent technology. The ICR aims to foster creative explorations that respect the past, consider the present, and build a diversity of futures through cultural innovation, supporting Qatar's contributions to global creative discourse. And this is from the website. Within the graphic design department, our faculty-run research labs including Type Araby, Sonic Geo, Participation Design Lab, the Comics Lab, and the Intangible Lab. Each lab includes students, alumni, and external collaborators, and we are all active in international dissemination and highly encouraged to lead electives that highlight the research of each faculty PI. The Department of Graphic Design champions agency through the competencies of collaboration, research, making, and cultural literacy. The department believes in responding to the reality of our time and that design is activated by content, condition, and impact. Further, that design exists in a continuum. The study of the historical past as it informs the now strengthens design's ability to strategically speculate on future forms, languages, and systems. Within our graphic design curriculum, students are required to take 6 electives, 2 graphic and 4 open electives. With this very open structure, faculty are able to lead 1 elective a year and propose new electives that introduce students to their specific areas of research. These electives often lead to students later joining labs as research assistants and undergraduate research fellows, which in turn often leads to their involvement in the labs as alumni and postgraduate research fellows. Kitchen Comics brought together 2 of the Institute for Creative Research's labs. Comics Lab, led by Leland Hill and Mike Wirtz, has created a comic library at the VCU Arts Qatar Library and led an international comics retreat just this last fall. The lab's focus is regional, while the reach extends from local to international. The Intangible Lab's aim is to capture and physically translate the intangible cultural heritage within Qatar through transdisciplinary lenses. This research and design cluster brings together designers, artists, ecologists, cultural scholars, scientists with museums and libraries. We are particularly interested in identifying traditional, local, and ecological wisdom to contribute to supporting sustainable energy and environments and optimizing health for a just and equitable society. We are invested in applying creativity for social sustainability. All of this is to set the stage for how Kitchen Comics came to be. 2 labs, led by 2 graphic design faculty, collaborated on the creation of the syllabi that saw 2 distinct areas of research come together for a semester of student-centered research, making, cultural literacy, and collaboration. And I'll read the course description. This elective studio examines the art form and visual narrative systems related to the intangible cultural heritage of food, storytelling, and character development within the visual narrative structure of comics. This course will go beyond the realm of traditional graphic design by emphasizing extensive research, hands-on making, and collaboration to foster advanced cultural literacy. Students will explore the basic elements of sequential narratives and the interaction of words, pictures, and storytelling to capture oral histories of the kitchen, including the food we eat and the stories they carry. References for the students included Scott McCloud's Understanding Comics, as well as a huge range of food-related comics and graphic novels from the Comics Lab and the Comics Library, as well as food-related storybooks that focus on single topics, like The Gourmand's Egg and Lemon, and the exceptional collection of The Science of the Secondary by Atelier Hoko, combined also with a huge range of cookbooks from the Intangible Lab collection. Each student was asked to choose 1 spice on the first day of class and to dedicate the entire semester to that spice. Students looked into the epic and dramatic spice trade history, how their own spice came to Qatar, and how it's used in their own kitchens. They were each required to make 1 recipe poster, 1 kitchen poster, 1 short story of how the spice chose them, and 1 final book housing all of the research. Kitchen Comics, as an interdisciplinary course exploring art, design, and intangible cultural heritage through culinary traditions, provided the 17 students a platform to document and visualize the evolving heritage of the contemporary Qatari kitchen. By integrating the history of spices with oral narratives from family members and cooking practices and recipes from within the home, students employed sequential narratives to capture living history. The course merged art and design methods with ethnographic research, reimagining the kitchen as a space of cultural exchange and memory. Students explored spices as both tangible artifacts and metaphorical storytelling tools, tracing their cultural and historical significance to understand their role in shaping Qatari culinary identity. Projects documented the changing culture of the Qatari kitchen through oral histories from family members combined with personal experiences. Everyday cooking practices were reimagined through comics and visual storytelling, bridging the gap between ephemeral oral traditions and lasting visual documentation. The culmination of the class included presentations to an external critic, as well as a pitch to exhibit at Liwan Design Studios. Liwan Design Studios and Labs is situated in a mid-century building that once housed Qatar's first girls' school and has been reimagined to now offer a unique space committed to supporting and connecting Qatar's creative community. Every spring and fall, Liwan hosts an open day, and the graphic design department has been very active in collaborating in many ways with Liwan. Our guest critic was Khalid Albai, the head of programs at Liwan. Khalid is a Romanian-born, award-winning Sudanese artist and political cartoonist. As a creative, cultural producer, he plans, designs, organizes, and manages artistic projects that have a cultural impact on the public that will interact with them. Khalid has been based in Doha since 1990 and has been a part of the Qatar Museum's family for more than a decade, taking various positions. Before becoming head of programs at Liwan, he was head of installation and design of public art at Qatar Museums. Khalid is also known as Khalid Albai. When he's not sharpening his pencil to produce some witty artwork, his work is regularly featured across various publications and channels. Khalid joined the class at the end of the semester, and all 17 students were able to present their posters and research books for his final critique. We also proposed that we wished to exhibit in the fall of 2024 for the Liwan Open Day. Based on the quality and content of the student work and its cultural relevance, the pitch to exhibit was a success. Once we secured the exhibition venue and had a tentative date, we were midway into the summer, and the spring semester class was long finished. The Intangible Lab reached out to Natasha Fernandez, an Intangible Lab member, a recent alumna, and a very well-versed exhibition designer, to take the lead as curator and designer of the student show. Our first big task was to measure and design the exhibition based on the floor plan of the design studios at Liwan. Natasha took the lead and created a perfectly to-scale exhibition plan that served as the base for all of her upcoming designs. Natasha then, with the permission from all 17 students, worked on a collage of all of the student work that wrapped around the entire room as a huge vinyl sticker. Attention was focused on spice trade history, oral histories, botany, and recipes. Natasha also designed the exhibition logo with the help of faculty Mohammed Sharaf and had mentorship from Sheikha Reem Al-Thani, the VCU Arts Qatar exhibition design faculty, whose course Natasha had previously TA'd. On the night of the Liwan Open Day and exhibition opening, Leland Hill, Natasha, Sheikha, the student representative to speak on behalf of the 17 students, and myself were invited to the stage in a panel to discuss the course, the collaboration of Comics Lab and Intangible Lab, the power of graphic design to visually capture intangible heritage, and the design vision of the curator for the exhibition. The Liwan press release stated, "Visit Kitchen Comics exhibition during our upcoming open day. In this exhibition, design and storytelling come together to visualize the intangible ties between us and our kitchen spice collections. Spices, the heart of our kitchens, have always been a symbol of cultural exchange and migration. Just as spices traveled ancient trade routes, infusing new flavors into distant lands, so do our traditions and recipes expand and evolve. We invite you to relive your memories and explore the rich history of spices that shape the kitchens of our past and present." For the exhibit, all 17 students were invited to present their research books, and postcards of all 17 projects were available for guests to collect. Each student had a podium, thanks to Qatar Museums and Liwan, to display their research books. And here I'm just showing what it looked like as we were setting up and as it was set up and then as it was activated for the actual opening night. And each book was accompanied with a hanging dish suspended from the ceiling that contained their actual spice. Guests from the local creative industries and the design sector mingled with students and families. And students were able to bridge their classroom research and making to the real world, introducing family tradition and culinary practices through their design creativity to a range of industry experts. A major achievement has been Qatar National Library's interest in the acquisition of the student works for their national research archives, recognizing their value in documenting contemporary cultural practices and supporting heritage preservation. Manara is an open repository for Qatar-based researchers to upload and share their research. It collects, preserves, and provides access to a variety of research outputs, including datasets, open access publications, preprints of research articles, and non-traditional academic outputs. Manara is a service managed by the Qatar National Library. Kitchen Comics showcased the integration of the Comics Lab and the Intangible Lab, two lab initiatives of the Institute for Creative Research, emphasizing the two principal investigators' research expertise, leading to collaborative teaching, faculty knowledge sharing, and innovative syllabi creation within the graphic design department. Students were able to see faculty collaborate through the classroom experience. By focusing on the kitchen as a microcosm of societal transformation, the course underscored the power of creative practice, cultural research, and visual storytelling in exploring and documenting living history. Students were able to apply their graphic design skills to capture intangible heritage and to bridge academia to the real world through the exhibition and the public interfacing with external presentations and pitches. The success of the course can be seen through an increased awareness in senior level research projects that focus on heritage and living history, that a receptive and welcoming creative ecosystem within Doha is ready to support and amplify and archive their future research outputs. A big and special thank you to AMPS, Qatar National Library, Liwan, VCU Arts Qatar, the Institute for Creative Research, the Graphic Design Department, of course Natasha Fernandez, Leland Hill, Mohammed Sharaf, and Sheikha Reem Al Thani. And last and definitely not least, the 17 spices, Al-Maha, black seed, Aliyah, turmeric, Anud, poppy, Bashir, cocoa, Duha, star anise, Hissa, frankincense, Hawla, cardamom, Lubna, nutmeg, Malaika, vanilla, Miriam, cinnamon, Nora, sage, Rawan, mint, Sarah, ginger, Shad, saffron, Sheikha, clove, Shruti, peppercorn, Tulin, sumac. Thank you very much.